This is a channeled, timeless reading for you when you see it. How are you doing? We're going to delve into the channel messages that came through for you ahead of time. And of course, my spirit guides, angels, and source will bring through any additional information that's for your highest good as I go through these. And my spirit guides, the angels, and source are, of course, the ones who brought these through in the first place. So the first thing they showed me with this message is they showed me like a shell. It looked like an oyster of sorts. And they really highlighted like a pearl as well with this message. So in some ways, the message is that you're being lifted out of your shell, or it could be a comfort zone in life as well. But the other message is that the pearl is about to show, or your pearl will come. So I'll read what came through here. They said, "The pearl will come. There is treasure coming for all the shedding you've been doing. You are being split open so you can release what you're meant to release, such as negative energies, darkness, lower vibrations, thoughts that impede you, negative beliefs, etc. And so that you can embody what you're meant to embody, such as the light, your soul, success, abundance, becoming who you're meant to be. You know, you get it. So right now the universe is splitting you open so you can have what you'd like. And I'm getting that includes leaving a comfort zone as well, or could include leaving a comfort zone. It could be a little bit different for each of you as well. But the universe is really cracking things open in your life so you can have the treasure you desire, is what I'm getting with that message. The next message that came through for you, they're kind of reiterating what I just said, actually, but the universe is cracking you open so you can have what you're meant to have in life. A lot of release is taking place. You are meant for greater things than the past. The past was preparation for a greater tomorrow. Trust that. So a lot of you have been through a lot, and even some unspeakable things is something I'm getting for some of you, hopefully not all of you. I wouldn't wish that on any of you. However, you've been prepared for the future in great ways, and I'm getting an interesting message, like it's unfathomable how good your life can be, and maybe it's been unfathomable some of the things you went through, but it's also unfathomable how good your life can be, and you're just being prepared for a greater tomorrow is something I'm getting, or you've been prepared for a greater tomorrow. So there's a reason you've gone through what you've gone through. It's not for nothing. It's not for naught. So NOT for NAUGHT, I think. But just trust that is what I'd say. The next message, they just said new treasure is coming. We're kind of on this kick. You kind of get this first round of messages hopefully by now, but new treasure is coming. You have new abundance on the way soon. So next few weeks even, you are getting blessed with abundance. So you have new abundance coming is what I'm getting, which is great. And that's sooner than you expect, and could be bigger than you expect as well. I feel like over the next year is going to be an abundant time in different ways for each of you. Some of you it's money, some of you it's all your hopes and dreams, some of you it's one particular thing you're hoping is going to pan out, is something I'm getting. So that's actually good. But you're meant for more abundance right now is something I'm getting. And some of you are just meant for abundance, period, and you know who you are. Your guides will probably tell you yes, or your intuition will tell you yes, or you'll get a sign or something. Next message, they showed me a rainbow. There is a bit more with the new treasure coming though, however, as well. I'm also getting the word success, and some of you have big success coming regarding business is something I'm getting, regarding your dreams, regarding the next steps in your dreams is something I'm getting, so that's fantastic. Next message, they showed me a rainbow. They said new hope. So new hope is coming to your life, especially if you feel defeated or let down, or Ten of Swords energies. They're showing me the Ten of Swords tarot card. There's a lot of hope for you. Hope is on the way, especially if you feel hopeless. So a lot of you have been let down in the past, even regarding hopes and dreams, or you haven't like gotten as big as you'd want it to get with certain projects or with business, or maybe social media, or especially social media, or things just haven't panned out the way you would have liked a lot is something I'm getting for at least a lot of you. And the good news is things can start to pan out more your way, and you're going to have more hope for things going your way, or the universe is going to show you like, hey, life doesn't always have to suck. Like life can be good. Things can work out. Like the road can work out. It doesn't always have to be this journey of like suck is something I'm getting. For some of you, like, or a lot of you, you know that, at least like cognitively, like you understand that. Maybe you're just waiting to see it, or you haven't had as much of it as you would have hoped. But there are some rainbows and new hope coming is something I'm getting as well, which is good. So I feel like the universe is bringing you rainbows and hope, and it's not just pointless hope where it's like hopes that get dashed, or like you have hope and then the universe crushes it and you're like, no. It's like hope that's real. It's like tangible, or if just more solid than random hopes you've had in the past, if that makes sense. Like there's a reason to hope. Next message, they showed me a truck. They gave me the message new beginnings. Seems like a common message recently, but new beginnings, drive it. So they showed like a message of someone like driving all night, or like a visual. They gave me the words for this. I get messages how I get messages, but it was about like someone driving all night through like to the dawn to get somewhere new, like driving through the night for a new beginning or something. Not saying you're doing that. It could be a sign, or could be just some representing something else for the highest good. But the universe is transporting you very quickly into a new beginning in the next few months to a year. But I feel like it's going to be sooner for all of you than a year. Like 8 months at the latest was the specific message I heard. Like 8 months at the latest for the new beginning. Maybe you can leave it a little bit stretchy for 9 months or something like that. But there's just something new coming, and I'm getting the word instant, and they're showing me like it's going to be instant. Maybe not instantaneous, but it's like the shift happens instantly or very quickly, or something like clicks or snaps, and suddenly for the highest good, everything's like very different is something I'm getting. But you're being led to a new beginning that's for you, which is really good, especially in the next year. And again, like 8 months probably at the latest, 9 months at the latest. Next message, they showed me anything else with that. Nope, that's just a sign that things are going to change. Next, conspiracy was the next message. This was changing gears a little bit, but there might just be, like, the message I got was a lot of conspiracy theories may be flying around, but you need to trust your gut. Most conspiracy theories are false on most levels, or on all levels. You don't need to get wrapped up in that, but instead trust your own intuition, as that will guide you more cleanly than being afraid of nothing or thinking the government can read your mind or something. Not sure why that's what came through, but if there are a lot of conspiracy theories flying around in your reality right now, you don't need to buy them. I don't even feel like they're for you. And some people just like make things up, or maybe they like want to be afraid and they make up conspiracy theories to be afraid. Especially regarding spirituality, like you'd be surprised how many spiritual conspiracy theories there are, and how many people try to justify that as spiritual is something I'm getting. But it's really just like the human mind, like running around in circles or running amok, and it's not necessarily intuitive is something I'm getting usually. So trust your intuition over like mental conspiracy theories of others, or people who are just spouting fear and maybe they just don't know any better is something I'm getting. And maybe they like actually believe what they're saying, but that doesn't always mean it's true, you know? So try not to listen to conspiracy theories, especially if they're like fear-based or really dragging or bringing you into fear, or they just seem very far-fetched is something I'm getting. So keep that in mind. Next, they showed me anything else with that. Nope. Aliens is what they showed me next. So this is just a slightly different message, but it feels like it could be along the same vein, but it could be completely separate for others of you. But just do spiritually what works best for you. Don't worry what others believe. Beliefs of others do not have to become your reality or dictate your path. Trust what works for you. Again, like some people believe like maybe some people believe aliens have taken over certain people's minds and are running the government or something. Like that's not necessarily true, even if someone like believes it strongly. One thing is popping in my head, and it's a story. There was a woman who I knew who wrote this article, and she wrote this article about how certain humans will just like make something up and then they'll believe it. And the story was literally about how, you know, atheists, and I'm not an atheist, obviously I channel God, I talk to God every day, and spirit guides and angels, like not an atheist, but they came up with this term to kind of poke fun at religion called that flying spaghetti monster, where they were like, oh, like, you know, the flying spaghetti monster doesn't have like tangible, you know, things, so you might as well believe in that. It was like something like that, and I don't quote me on that because I don't remember the exact like arguments or any of that, but they pretty much made up this concept of the flying spaghetti monster to try to poke fun at religion and make them seem ridiculous, I guess. And I don't know, I don't agree with that, of course, but there were these groups of people sometime after that who actually made it a religion to believe in the flying spaghetti monster specifically. specifically the flying spaghetti monster, not God, the flying spaghetti monster. And so that was just a term made up by atheists. It's not real. Intuitively, when I check in, I'm like, no, it doesn't exist. And some people have tried to kind of bring the argument to me like, oh, well, if enough people believe it, maybe they could create it in the etheric. I'm getting no on that specifically with the flying spaghetti monster is something I'm getting. Not how that works is something I'm getting for whatever reason regarding that. And so there are a lot of weird beliefs out there and things that are made up. And your number one job, I don't know if it's actually your number one job, but the way they're phrasing it is one of your jobs, I suppose, could be to trust your intuition and what works for you and not worry about other people's beliefs. That could just be made up, or they read it from a book or heard it from someone and spun it into something else, or they're just regurgitating information. Like, be wary of that is something I'd say. Like, maybe your path is channeling Arcturians and working with aliens. Maybe you're just meant to work with angels and swords. Like, do what works best for you. But just because someone believes in the flying spaghetti monster doesn't mean you need to worship the flying spaghetti monster, if that makes sense. And to me, worship is a strange term as well. To me, God is kind of like your friend. Like, you don't, I don't know. That's a whole, if they would give me a message on that, I'll provide it for you. If not, we'll just move to the next message here. Worship is unnecessary because it puts God as separate from yourself. And that's not the truth of it, is something I'm getting. So I guess you could be wary of that if that agrees with you. And if not, let's just move on to the next message. So the next thing they have for you, there's more with aliens though. So let me see what else would be high so much we can bring through for you here. They're just saying, do what works for you. Don't worry about what anyone else says. So next message, they showed me a trench coat, and the message is that a lot of hidden agendas, there might be just a lot of hidden agendas around you, whether it's from other people around you or just around, like, even if you guys don't realize it. So, or it could just be in the world at large, but there are a lot of hidden agendas on the planet right now. But trust, if you are working on behalf of the light, you will be taken care of. Do what you are guided to do. I feel like this is an interesting message to come through after the last two, about conspiracy theories and all of that one here. But there just might be people in your life who aren't being forthright for you, and this is nothing crazy. Like, there could be people with hidden agendas, like, around certain circumstances with you, like a job or something like that. I would trust that will be unveiled if that's going on, is something I'm getting, and trust the light will bring these things to the surface. And beyond that, if you're working for the highest good, if you're working for Source on behalf of the light, you're going to be taken care of. You don't need to worry about this too much, is something I'm getting. But I just keep getting this message, like, be wary of people who are trying to, like, spit beliefs at you that don't serve you or don't serve your highest good. So I don't know, something I'm getting there. The next message, they just said, for others of you regarding this trench coat message, the universe is just keeping you safe from conspiracy and treachery. The universe is keeping you safe. So it could be either or for you. Just take it how it resonates and just see what's unveiled to you. The next message, they showed me the word release. They said, there is so much release going on in the collective, or for you whenever you see this. Trust that release phases will not become your reality long-term or forever. See them for what they are. You will be okay. So a lot of you are releasing a lot. It kind of goes back to the oyster and the shell and kind of the purge and treasure being unveiled, if that makes sense. But I'm getting this message, like, you're being crafted into someone the universe can really use, if that makes sense, for the highest good. And I don't mean use as in, like, use and abuse or anything weird like that. It's like, the universe can use you for, I don't know if the universe has an agenda, but the way I'm hearing it is the universe can use you for its agenda for the highest good, like of the true highest light, of highest infinite wisdom, doing what's for the highest good to be done, changing the world for the highest good, etc. So you're being crafted into someone the universe can really work with and work through to affect the collective for the highest good. And I would trust the journey on that is something I'm getting. It's not always overnight. It can be a journey. I'm hearing like 5 years right now. Some of you have already been through this. The universe is just putting finishing touches on things or finalizing it. For others of you, you're just starting, like maybe you're new to this work. Maybe you want to get into channeling or something like that. And that would be great. But just know the universe has a plan for you. And again, the universe is turning you into someone it can work through more for the highest good. And it's always going to use you for the highest good. I don't like the word use, but that's the word they're giving me, so I'm going to trust it. The last message I have for you ahead of time was that they show me a smiley face. It's just that they're showing me a blue jay as well, which is my symbol of like the sun, like happiness, good times, but happiness is on the way, even if there are bumps right now. The universe is conspiring to get you to happiness and joy, especially joy. You deserve joy. The journey may be long, but you can be joyful the whole way is something I'm getting. So there's gonna be like an old pickup truck again, an old pickup truck with a Christmas tree actually. I'm gonna tell you this brief story, but I don't remember this being a symbology used in Christmas when I was growing up, like in the 90s, 2000s, but the past like 3 years, there's all this imagery of like an old pickup truck with a Christmas tree in the back. And they're showing that to me right now for whatever reason. So let me see what they mean with all this. Fully for that's good. Sometimes there are things we associate with joy or happiness, and that imagery could be like a nostalgic thing for older folk, if that makes sense, or could invoke a nostalgic feeling of Christmas, and maybe it gets people to buy things. I don't know. That's not the point of what I'm trying to say. The universe might be bringing those things around you more to like bring you to happiness, or as a sign happiness is coming, like something that's nostalgic to you that represents joy. Like maybe if you were into Pokemon, like it shows you Pokemon stuff, or if you were into bubbles, like as a kid, like there's bubbles all around you or something like that. But there's just more happiness on the way, and the universe is conspiring to get you to joy, which is actually a really good thing. That's the good conspiracy. And the universe conspiring is different than like conspiracies, of course, and you understand that. So one more message, they're showing me a popsicle here. They're showing this message, opportunities will not melt away. Obstacles will melt away. Opportunities will not melt away. So some of you are afraid of losing opportunities, or thought you were supposed to get opportunities by now, but you didn't, or don't know where they're at. They are coming is something I'm getting. And opportunities are not going to melt away from you once you have them, if that makes sense. They're not just going to disappear if you see an opportunity and can't get to it right away is something I'm getting. I'd still like try to grab onto it and do what you can at the right time, or as you're guided to go towards it. But they're not just going to dissolve overnight. Like you have time is something I'm getting. And that's not to make you lazy or have you rest on your laurels or anything like that. It's just so you don't freak out is something I'm getting. But opportunities will not melt away. So they're kind of indicating there's not much more for this reading. They are showing me a cheetah. They're showing me the term light speed. Some of you just have rapid shifts coming, like light speed, like things won't be the same in a few months, and that's a good thing is something I'm getting. Others of you, cheetah spirit animal saying like, hey, you're safe, like rest easy regarding worry, like you'll take action at the right time, like things like that. He's just kind of like in the Sahara plains, just kind of chilling and like saying these things to me and the visual I'm getting. So that's it. I feel like there's one last message though. I feel like things are going to be speeding up for all of you in the next year. Like if your life has been like the same for the past few years, it's not going to be the same in a year. And some of you are going to get like ease and joy through all of that. Some of you might have a period where you have to work hard and then things are good. Like it might be a little bit different for each of you, but your life is going to be changing rapidly, and that's a good thing. So I'm going to close the reading there. There's one last spirit animal that wants to come through for you before we part ways here. Actually, no, they would like to close it. So I hope this was helpful. Did whatever was for the highest good for you. I feel like I'm missing a message or two, so I'm so sorry that this is taking a second to close out, but give me one last second to sit with it. They're just kind of really reiterating, like, just know that things are going to be changing. Like, that's one of the messages. So I hope that was helpful. Did whatever was for the highest good for you. I almost feel like you guys have like another life coming, if that makes sense. Like sometimes people will live like multiple lifetimes in like one lifetime. And some of you are like almost out of like one phase. Like that feels like a lifetime and you're heading into another. And I'm just getting it's much more joyous and like better. And others of you are like halfway through a lifetime, but you're in this big positive shifting phase where things shift in a big way. So I feel like the universe is adding like rocket fuel to your path. So you're not stuck where you're at. And if you felt stuck for a while, I feel like the universe is putting in overtime to get you out of that, which is good. So I also feel like it's time for a leap of faith for many of you. So if you have a leap of faith in business to take, I'm hearing that specifically in business, just do it. For others of you, if it's like a leap of faith in a relationship, you know what to do, is what I'm hearing. So trust yourself and all that. So I hope that was helpful. Do whatever was for the highest good for it to do for you. And I will see you on another reading or post.